Well, I think they are really good on defense. They're really good against the run, like they've done versus everybody all year. And I think you've got to take a different approach with them. If you just try to go downhill at them, you're going to struggle, especially with our inexperienced offensive line. So if you go back, like we were just talking about the first two series, you see a lot of spread out runs, a lot of different looks from the shotgun, and getting number 5 outside of the box. Because when we're watching film, you just line up in normal formations and come downhill, you're not going to have very much success. And so we had to kind of do a bunch of different stuff that we hadn't done really before, that really wasn't normal in our system.
What went into the decision to suspend Dylan Baxter?
Well, my statement was made, and there was no word in there use suspension. So, like I said in it, like the last sentence, we're done talking about it.
Well, how is this different?
You didn't read the last sentence, did you?
How is this different than?
You obviously didn't read any of it.
Yeah, I read all of it. I read all of it.
Was suspension in there?
Well, he's not with the program. You said he's not with the program. Wouldn't that indicate he's suspended?
Like I said, we're focused on the guys that are here. We're focused on getting ready to play maybe the best team in the country.
But in the past, when a guy has been, taken aside for whatever reason, you've expanded on it. You've talked about their need to kind of get stuff back together, and then they'll rejoin the team. Will he rejoin the team?
Well, this is all about no distractions, and so it's why we're not answering questions. We don't want our players, we don't want our coaches dealing with it. Our team has had great focus over the last couple weeks on the road, and the last thing we want to do is get distracted. And so we're focused on what we're doing right now, which is preparing to play the number 1 team in the country, probably.
Has he talked about transferring, or have you suggested?
Like I said, I'm not talking more about it.
Where would you put Robert Woods in the Blitnikoff race right now?
Not very high up if he doesn't practice. Robert didn't practice today, and so hopefully he'll be healthy this week. But outside of that, he's played really well. And I think the thing that's special about him is he's not as big as some of those other guys, which obviously when you're bigger it makes it easier because those catches that he's having to dive for are right in the stride. But his ability to line up at so many spots, he did it all again. He even actually started running routes from the backfield in that game, that we usually use the smaller running backs to do.
Do you have an injury?
He's got a couple of them.
Do you have an injury report today?
Yeah, Robert did not practice, and Torrin Harris did not practice. Everybody else did something for the most part.
What do you know about Joel?
I don't. Sorry.
When you get into this kind of big environment with for lack of a better term, a showcase game with Luck and with Matt, do you talk to Matt at all about not getting caught up in it, or not trying to do too much because of this particular environment?
Yeah, definitely. Later in the week. Right now it's just about preparing. That'll be decision making on game day, and so we'll talk to him about that, especially because of how well he played last year. And it's not his fault he didn't start the clock. It's not his fault that we didn't stop him in 2 minutes. He did everything he could do to win that game, and so we got to make sure that he just continues to play the same way and doesn't try to force it and try to win it, because he's not playing against Andrew.
You've developed a lot of quarterbacks. What makes Matt Barkley so different?
I don't know that he's really different. We've been fortunate to have great ones here, a couple Heisman winners. So I think he's right in the lines of them. He prepares as well as any of them ever have, and his focus for the game, want to be great, is as good as any of them.
Is there anything that stands out with him versus other players that you've helped coach?
No, I just think he does everything right. And where I think maybe that there was a flaw in somebody that you're always trying to change it. He really is. Just does every aspect of what you want on and off the field right.